What is going on, guys? My name is cosmovsgoku, and welcome to our 8th ever Journeyman Abridged cast interview.
I'm joining TwstdFlaems.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm alright. I'm alright.
That's good, man. So for those that don't know, who do you play in Naruto and in Digimon?
Alright, so probably the most notable characters I play in Naruto would be Dosu, Genma, Hayate, and also Shikamaru and Kakashi. And in Digimon, I am predominantly Joe, Agumon, Leomon, Agumon, and Shellmon. And my latest one, and the Dark Masters. I knew you were going for those ones.
And the Sound 4 and Kimimaro.
Sound 4, yeah.
The poor vocal cords.
They're the worst. Yeah. It's the worst. Why did I make the joke that I want to play all of those?
I don't know, but it worked.
Hey,
I mean, we can't hit Amaru, but it's alright.
I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, I know.
Still very salty about that.
But compared to the rest of the cast, you have a really different journey to getting involved because...
I do have a different journey, man.
Because aside from me, you're the only person in the cast who has previously directed an abridged series.
Yes, directing is a bit of a exaggeration on what I did, but yes.
And you've been in this game as long as I have.
Yes, maybe longer?
If not longer, yeah. So, what is your journey from humble beginnings of a young TwstdFlaems through to getting involved with Journeyman Abridged?
Alright, so when I kicked off abridging with Zoid's New Century Zero, the beloved Out of Order series that we got. We got that one first, even though Chaotic Century actually came out before New Century, but we got New Century Zero first. I had a lot of fun doing that. That was just a very different series and very episodic, more so than probably as much as Digimon, if not more so. So that was where things kicked off. And from there, I also, for whatever reason, decided to start doing One Piece. Don't give it up, abridged as well with a few of my mates. And neither of the series got very deep in. Zoid's got like 4 episodes deep, and One Piece only got like 2. So yeah, it was very quickly started, very quickly abandoned, and we don't talk about them anymore.
Well, I was about to ask why did they get abandoned, but you don't talk about them anymore.
No, it's just I was waiting for certain things to happen on Zoids, and as a result of waiting for... started out as just waiting for like a couple of weeks for stuff, and then it got to 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and at that stage I'm like, cool, project's going.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it anymore. And One Piece, I actually can't even remember why it stopped. Because I've got scripting kicking around like the first 8 or 9 episodes.
Yeah.
But I only got as far as recording the first 2, because it was me and another mate of mine, and it was, I think, a lot of scheduling came into issue with that, so that's what sort of drove the project into the ground and sort of had it sort of die.
That's fair. So what was that intervening period like in between One Piece and Zoids and then getting involved with JMA?
Oh, God. From there to here, I mean, I had other projects I started working on in the middle, because I started writing Beyblade Abridged, and I started writing Bleach Abridged as well. And probably the time frame between the most recent episode of One Piece Abridged, which was the last one I released, to us doing this project was nearly 10 years.
Fuck.
Yeah. Don't muck around.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a long hiatus for things. It's fun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's sort of where that was. But yeah. Yeah, those projects are gone. I don't even know if the videos are still up. I know the Zoids ones are all gone.
Oh, they eventually got more?
They got all of them.
Yep.
Though the first Zoids one did actually get like a couple 100,000 views. But that was a titling thing by me that made it sneaky and made people think it was the original episode of the first series. So sneaky, but it got me like 200,000 views, I think.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Yeah. And then, so how did that then lead to discussions with you getting involved with us?
Oh, I actually can't remember where the discussion came about. Because I know you and I were talking, and I think you'd mentioned that you'd done stuff in the past, and you mentioned to me, I know you mentioned to me about thinking about doing Naruto, and asking if I wanted to get involved, and I said, cool, but I'm going to be Kakashi and Shikamaru.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's happening. If I don't get those two, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not playing. But I can't remember the exact conversation. I know where we were. Like, I actually remember vividly where I was sitting at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the exact conversation and circumstances around it.
Yeah.
Because I know it was a conversation we had at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought I remembered, but I don't anymore.
My recount of events is a little bit more detailed, but we'll save that for my interview. I think that's fair.
Fair.
But yeah, it was very much a case of, I'm thinking of doing this. Do you want to be involved? Yes, but only if I play these two characters. All right.
Which, I mean, really, so that's how half the casting's gone as well.
Yeah.
That's how I got Dosu. That's how I got the Dark Masters. That's how I got the Sound 4. Or Sound 5, really.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, yeah. Because, I mean, I know there's been instances where you come over and we'll be talking about a voice, and it's like, oh, we need to work out who's going to play this character. And I'm like, blah.
Like, that exact thing happened with my oldest one.
Yes.
We were talking at work, and I said something, and he just turned around and said Grizzly Wing or something.
Yes.
And I'm like...
That's happening.
Yep, okay. Or what happened with Agumon, for those that don't know, and I'll talk about this more later, but or another time rather, I was originally cast as Agumon.
Which gave you like 6 of the 7 Digimon.
Yeah. In terms of the rookies anyway. And I'd recorded everything. We're just about to enter production, and we walked out into your kitchen to get some food or something, and you just turned around and went, "Pepper bread!"
No, we were in here. We were actually recording.
We were in here?
We were in here.
Okay.
Because Thing and Thing were out in the other room.
Yeah.
And we were in here, did that, and then called Impolite in to evaluate which one of us...
Wasn't that for the Armored
It was for
Evolutions? So I thought with Agumon we did a video and I sent it to Impolite by.
Yeah, you know, you're right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Halsamon was here.
Yep. The Wings of Love.
Yes, and I originally had that one. But I keep the rest of that whole one line.
Yeah. And you got Flangemon and Ragemon.
Yes.
In
exchange. Yes. And Stingmon. That's how I got Stingmon as well.
Yeah, because I can't do Stingmon's voice, but you can.
Yeah, but you also had the problem where you were doing Stingmon originally, but because of DNA Digivolution, Stingmon sounded way too close to XVmon.
Yep.
So we needed to break it up a little bit.
Yeah. But
getting way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Wormon.
Dropping all kinds of casting announcements by accident.
just for you and me. It's whatever. It's haven't even announced we're doing 02 at this stage, but
we did actually.
Did we?
Yeah, in the main news update, I accidentally dropped that we're doing it.
Nice work.
Yeah, completely by accident.
Nice work.
I'll quickly put the clip right here.
And announcing today for the very first time, a veteran in Abridged series creation. Please welcome, as the voice of Yoli Inoue, Shadow Galactica. Now, anyone familiar with our previous work may recognize Shadow Galactica as the voice of Maria Ross, Sheska, Celine Bradley, Rose Thomas, and Crane the Rabbit. And we are so pleased that she has agreed to come back to us, and we can't wait to see what she does with Yoli in our wargame Abridged, and then moving forward into Digimon Adventure 02 Full Arc Abridged, which I just realised we just announced, which wasn't the intention today. Oh well!
So yeah.
The powers of editing, I love it.
So what is the name of the meaning of your screen name, TwstdFlaems? Where did that come from?
That is a very long and convoluted story that I actually don't remember all the details of.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. Like, there was this whole Sick and Twisted thing that was a spin-off of another mate getting called that, and I just took the Twisted part, or I went with Sick and Twisted for a while and went with a weird spelling of it, and then for whatever reason I added the Flames.
Is that when you learned what Bowser?
No. No. But yeah, I went with the flames thing, which is weird for me because fire isn't even my favorite element.
Yep.
It's ice. Ice is the better element. Ice is the cooler element. But yeah, no. So it just became TwstdFlaems.
Yep.
And it's been that on a lot of stuff since then. That's just become a staple that I've used on so many services, and I've abandoned it now for most things, but I still keep it with the abridging and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that way people, I assume...
There's consistency.
Yeah.
There's a brand there.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I've toyed around with other usernames aside from cosmovsgoku. Like my gamer tag's different. A brief point where I had Snapchat, I tried a different thing. I used something different on Reddit and stuff like that. But when it comes to content creation, YouTube, it's always cosmovsgoku.
Yeah.
And then when YouTube new to my YouTube channel, I then changed it up a little bit, but I've just come back to all reliable.
Yep, that's fair.
So I get that completely.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of acting, and this is a question I haven't asked anybody else.
Oh god, okay.
So I'm trying to, being that you've been in this game for as long as I have, if not longer, I want to throw some curveballs at you.
Okay.
In terms of acting, what is the hardest character for you to play? Not in terms of vocal manipulation, because that's easy, Jirobo, Machine Dramon, etc.
Oh god.
But who's the biggest acting challenge for you?
That's a really good question.
I know I only thought of it when I was driving here. I'm like, damn, I wish I asked the others.
I actually don't know. Because none of them are widely out there. I mean, there's been there's been dialogue that's been written that I've either vetoed or not been comfortable with.
Which we have changed.
But as far as actually playing a character, I don't think there's any that I've had that difficult. I know one that's going to exhaust me a lot. Have we announced Akatsuki stuff? We have announced Akatsuki stuff, haven't we?
Yeah, in Akatsuki all along.
Yeah, okay. So Hidan is going to be the most draining. That's going to probably be the hardest from a...
That's going to use so much energy.
It's a very high energy voice. It's definitely going to be the hardest with that. But everyone else, like, I play a lot of really mellow characters. Like, Kakashi and Shikamaru are just, like, either depressed or just don't care, which works for me.
Yeah.
But then, like, Agumon is probably the most hyper other voice that I do. And even then, he's not. It's just the weird cadence with his voice.
Yeah.
But that's just a voice thing, not a difficulty in playing the role. Yeah, none of them are actually really difficult to play. Like, they're all nuanced in their own way, but I don't struggle to get into character with any of them. I probably struggle with, like, Pain's mentality, but because I'm not a psychopathic killer, but whatever.
I think when you read the, we've written at this stage, the young Yahiko, Nagato, Conan flashbacks. That script is still in the draft, and it's up to the final, second last draft, sorry. Which...
requires me to read it.
That's right. Yeah, the scripts go through a number of drafts. The game will go through about 4 or 5 drafts before they get sent out to the cast. And you're the second last, and then I redraft it and finalize it, and then it goes out.
Yeah.
But when you have a chance to read that script, you'll see that Yahiko is very much written to be as easy for you to play as possible.
Because of that voice.
But then...
that voice is a pain. It is though.
And then that acts as a really, really nice so what I'm looking for, contrast to Pain. But I guess in that case, by default, Pain would be the hardest if that's the hardest for you to get into the mindset to play.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly, Hidan is easier to get into the mindset of. I haven't had to do Hidan yet. But, like, no, I get Hidan's character a lot better. Like, Hidan is just crazy.
Yeah, and I've given you a lot of permission to just go nuts.
I'm going to have fun with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have so much fun. The crazy laugh is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. And I love the way that you're choosing which elements of the dub and original to use.
So I think I'm going with the dub vocal range.
Yeah.
But the sub or the original's laugh.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I didn't like the double laugh as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the direction I'm going with that one.
And that's something
Spoilers.
yeah.
Even though I've done the laugh already.
Yeah, you have.
Part of all along.
Yeah. And that's something I like that not just you and I do, but everyone does to differing degrees, is we take from both the original and the English dubs and marry the voices together.
Yeah, pick the best from both.
Yeah, and then we can find a middle ground. And that's something I only realized that I was doing for Sasuke, for example, well after I recorded Sasuke. So it works well, and it allows us to pay tribute to both versions.
Yeah, for sure.
So does that mean that the scene, the hardest scene that you've had to be in from an acting perspective hasn't come up yet, but it will be that scene? You anticipate?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100% that one is going to be killer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. But which version of that scene? The main one or the smaller, more condensed one in the Nara Forest?
The Nara Forest one is going to be a lot more screamy. I know that because of what's going on. But it's a lot of me fighting myself.
Yeah.
It's going to be because I'm Azuma, I'm Shikamaru, and I'm Hidan.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be me apathetically at myself whilst also being incredibly abusive towards myself.
Yeah.
And also effectively being Batman.
Yeah. But also Travis Willingham.
But also Travis Willingham at the same time. Yeah. That's going to kill me.
Are there any surprising influences on the voices you've chosen to do?
I mean, probably the most, depends on what you mean by surprising.
I'll leave it open to interpretation.
I mean, because a lot of the characters have just been played relatively straight or as close to their voice as I can. So, Leomon is a bit unusual because I haven't really tried for the Leomon voice. I've more gone with Chris Hemsworth's Thor. My thing to get into character is, I am Leomon, son of Odinmon.
Yeah.
And just go down with that. Jedi is this weird mix of Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan for the young Jedi, which is the hello there, mixed with the older Jedi, who is Stan Lee with the Excelsior.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been some weird influences, like Deadpool for Dosu.
Yeah.
But I've tended to do that with, we've agreed on this, where I do that with the throwaway characters.
Yeah.
Or the characters who mean very little. Like the fact that Hayate and Genma are basically the same character.
Yeah.
They both get the Patrick Warburton influence.
Yeah.
Dosu is dead in 5 seconds, which is dumb, and it's a whole thing where I don't get why the 3 ninja that were entered by Orochimaru into the Chunin exams weren't told the plan.
Yeah.
So if they were told the plan, why would Dosu go to try to kill Gaara when the Sand and the Sound were working together to destroy Konoha? It doesn't make sense. It means Orochimaru didn't tell his own subordinates the plan. I assume because he was going to kill them for the Edo Tensei. I don't know. It's stupid though. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I've got a lot to do this series.
So many.
A lot.
And that's part of the reason why you have so much fun with putting it together, because you have so much issue with it.
I do. It's just, and no offense to Kishimoto, but it's a horrible series from a writing perspective. You're right. You're right.
The anime's pacing doesn't help either.
The anime's pacing is even the biggest problem. The anime's pacing is okay until Shippuden.
Yeah, okay.
Shippuden is where it just goes off the rails, but the series as a whole...
Hello, did you want a cameo in the interview?
He's already cameoed heaps. Can you hop down?
No one wants to be in front and centre. Hello. Hello.
Hop down, please. Come on.
Yeah, I know, I'm not open. Here we go.
Good boy. Anyway.
He wanted to be here, so he'll probably show up a couple more times.
He probably will.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
I forgot. I should look.
Do you need to check your notes to see what question comes
I
next?
do. I'm sorry. I'm so professional.
Very professional.
we'll stay on the focus of characters for now, and the characters you play for now. Do you have a favourite character that you play?
That's a good question.
You can pick one from Naruto and Digimon if it's easier.
The Hayate Genma thing is just fun.
Yeah.
Because it's the whole, see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting. Pretty good stuff. I love it. I love doing that. I love Agumon because he's fun.
Yeah.
It's just that random, like, the extra cadence from talking like this. It's all over the place. Hi. Tie. Fly. Bye.
And you really nailed the Tom Farn of it all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But
I think the most fun character, but there's a lot of fun characters, and just because they're so goofy, like Puppetmon is fun.
Yeah.
Because he's just stupid.
Yeah.
Joe is fun because he's just like neurotic as hell.
Yeah.
But I honestly think like I'm gonna have the most fun with the Dumb. Purely because he's just balls to the wall insane.
I'm actually thinking we will end up doing the Power Arc.
The Power Arc?
So for those that don't know, the Power Arc is a 6-episode filler arc in Shippuden.
Okay.
Where Kabuto actually brings back Hidan as an Edo Tensei before the war.
Oh.
And
that canonically doesn't make sense.
It was, I believe, and I've seen conflicting reports about this, so I apologize if I'm wrong. I believe it was originally going to be that year's movie.
Okay.
But then there was no movie that year in favor of the team working on Road to Ninja.
Okay.
I think that's how it goes from memory. So at least he's not completely gone.
Yeah.
If we do end up doing the Power Arc.
I honestly don't know why he hasn't come back in Boruto.
Yeah, considering
it's
that...
a loose thread that hasn't been tied up.
Yeah.
But we're in favour of doing other things. I'm not going to spoil Boruto.
Yeah. I think you've already spoken about it in the past that you don't want to touch Boruto.
I hate Boruto. Look, the problem I have with Boruto is that it's just Naruto and Sasuke.
Yep.
And like all the things that people are praising about it have been Naruto and Sasuke.
Yep.
The things that people are talking about are Naruto and Sasuke. And that to me is boring. If you're going to do a different series, you need to focus on other people. But the other problem I've got is Boruto is too strong for how young he is.
Yep.
Like, if you compare Naruto's generation to Boruto's generation, like, it's complete other ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, Boruto as a genin, as a guy who has just gotten his headband, is stronger than pre-Sage Naruto.
Yeah.
Because he's got like 3 different types of nature manipulation. And this comes down to bad writing for Naruto, which has negatively impacted my thoughts on Boruto, because Naruto doesn't learn nature manipulation until what? Just before the pain arc. Just before he does Sage Mode.
Yeah.
So and he has 1. I think he has 2 technically. He has 1.
Oh, that's right, when he was forming Rasen Shuriken, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the Immortals arc, yeah.
Yeah. So the Immortals arc, yes. So during that whole Hidan Kakuso thing. Cusco. The Cusco bit. But
yeah, I need to write something down.
Okay. But while you're doing that. But like Boruto has like 3 nature manipulations.
Yep.
And like Sasuke at least got his first one during the Chunin exam arc. While Naruto was, for whatever reason, learning Toad Summoning.
Yep.
And, sorry, Jiraiya was a terrible teacher.
Yeah, he was. And we touched on that in shit.
He actually is a terrible teacher. The fact that Naruto went on a 3-year training thing and all he came back with was a bigger Rasengan.
Yep.
No nature manipulation. Like, he should have been learning things.
Yeah.
Nature manipulation. More techniques.
He should have learned Sage Mode.
He should have learned Sage Mode. He'd actually learned Sage Mode in, 2 weeks?
Probably less.
Maybe less.
We actually talked about that at the end of the fillers.
Yeah.
Which is the episode that you wrote.
Yes. That's why I wrote it in there.
Yeah.
It was because of the whole fact that Naruto comes back from... The time skip is an arbitrary time skip, and I don't like time skips that are arbitrary.
When nothing changes.
Yeah. Like, I as a One Piece nerd, it is a thing where I like a world that has moving parts. And the fact that, the Akatsuki aren't going to make another move on Naruto for 3 years. Orochimaru can't do anything as far as swapping bodies for 3 years. And then Naruto goes on a 3-year skip. And literally the only thing that changes is that some people ranked up.
Yeah.
Like Gaara becomes the Kazekage. But nothing else changes. Like, if you compare, I think it's going to be spoilers, if you compare One Piece to Naruto, nothing changes in Naruto in the time skip.
Yep.
Everyone has just basically leveled up and that's it. Whereas you compare it to One Piece, where you've got a character like Kid, who comes in post-time skip missing an arm and heavily scarred because he's jumped headfirst into every situation. Smoker has scars. And that's a nice little tell of how dangerous the new world is because he's a Logia user and Logias are overpowered in Paradise. But then going to the new world, it means he's encountering a lot of Haki. The world has moved. The world has changed. Blackbeard has gone from just being a dude with a 0 bounty up to a dude that is now a Yonko.
Yeah.
There's been shifts. Big Mom's taken over Fishman Island. There's a lot of changes with the dynamics of the worst generation and everything like that. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. And so you've got the Straw Hats who take 2 years off, but the world doesn't take 2 years off. Yeah. Everyone else is moving forward and everything is changing and like getting better and bigger and badder and more dangerous. But it's just, it doesn't happen with hi. It doesn't happen with Naruto.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Well, you just preemptively answered the question I was going to ask later.
Which was?
What issues do you take with Naruto as a series?
Yeah, it's the bad writing for me. Mm-hmm. And it's the retconning and contradictions and all that sort of stuff that comes through.
Yeah.
So you have stuff like Naruto, who has no friends in childhood, who in flashbacks is suddenly friends with Kiba and Shikamaru and Choji, even though Shikamaru is a dick to him at the tuning exams.
Yeah, and it's played as though they haven't been friends their whole lives.
Correct.
It's like the we actually wrote a line about that in Ninja Clash in the Land of Stone. I can talk about this because it's finally released. Naruto says something like
having no friends except for Erika-sensei, Choji, Shikamaru, Kiba, Akamaru, Hinata, and everyone else I've been retconned to have known as a child. But then, I made new friends, and people started to like me, such as Erika-sensei, Choji, Shikamaru, Kiba, Akamaru, Hinata, Sasuke, and Sakura, Kakashi-sensei, Team Smoker's Cough, Team Pregnancy, Rock Lee and his Ninja Pals, Jiraiya-sensei, the Old Hag, Shizune, and Tauntaun. And you know what I do to retcons? This!
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It's just complete contradictory. Like, there was it removes the power of Erika.
Yep.
And it makes, Erika is irrelevant. But it makes Erika more irrelevant by having his connection to Naruto as the first person to care about Naruto. It removes that by having Naruto already have other friends.
Yeah.
And it makes less sense for Naruto to have no friends than it does for him to have friends.
Yeah.
Even if they're just a superficial thing like Kiba and Shikamaru and Choji. Like, that at least has some merit to it.
Yeah.
Because, he's a class clown. He's going to have the people who don't want to study or the people who want to goof off and stuff like that as his friends. Like, that's going to be happening. He's not going to be, super popular, but he's not going to be a complete outcast either.
Yeah.
But then there's the whole third Hokage thing where Naruto lives on his own, and
there's also the last which retcon Hinata and Naruto's first meeting again.
Yeah, I don't like that. I liked Hinata being this girl that Naruto didn't really know because he just was too absorbed with being a prankster and stuff like that. And this quiet little shy girl is not going to draw his attention. But I like Hinata just being the person watching him from afar.
Yeah.
And him to finally recognize that during the pain arc.
Who is this girl?
Yeah. Right?
Pythonix completely nailed that delivery.
For sure.
But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense for them to have known each other as a child multiple times having their first meeting.
Yeah.
Hello, buddy.
You've had way too much attention. Give me 2 seconds. Let's go scratch the door. little bit of editing magic's going to have to happen now.
Zoom in. The bars and torrent. How'd you go?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So do you have a least favourite character that you play?
No.
Really?
Not at all.
If you were to listen, that'll be number one?
No. I mean, you have to rank everyone and there's going to be a bottom, but I don't know what that bottom is. And the bottom is going to be someone without a name, most likely. Like Ninja C or something like that.
I'm trying to think if you actually play any of those. I mean, outside of the fillers, do you play any?
Yes, I play one in the Kushina
That's right.
thing, right? To a certain voice.
Yeah, which we will not touch on.
Yes.
That's a bit of a spoiler for potential future projects for...
Essentially, yes. Yeah, so I do that, and I do a couple of other ones, I think.
Yeah.
Really minor stuff. So they would be the bottom.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's none that I've like gone, oh, I hate this character. Because I wouldn't offer to play them.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
or I would refuse to pay them.
It's just a case of...
Diva like that.
Yes. It's just a case of Flames, can you do this? Fine.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then there'll be certain characters I'm like, cool, I'm not doing pickups for this character.
Yeah.
I refuse to.
Yeah. Thankfully, Jirobo's done for now.
Thank God. Yeah, if we can just cut him from the war and give some Kitamaru some spotlight. Because Kitamaru's voice is a lot easier than Jirobo's.
Yeah.
Because Kitamaru is just my Yuri Lowenthal voice.
Yeah.
Doing Ben 10.
Yeah. Yuri Lowenthal.
I'm going hero.
Which is really funny because Kitamaru is Spider-Man.
Yes.
And Yuri Lowenthal, of course, plays that amazing iteration of Spider-Man.
Also that, yes.
Yeah. I had a really great question lined up. Oh, that's right. So just moving briefly away from characters for a bit before I forget this question again. Are there anything, as co-director and part of the writing team and executive and one of the producers, are there any ideas in the scripts or whatever that you have flat out no?
Only dialogue stuff, I think, is the thing.
One springs to mind about Kakashi from the movie.
Yes.
But is there anything that you've been, or anything that you and I particularly disagreed on in terms of direction to take an episode or blah? Like I know Erika's a big one.
Yeah, Erika, I vetoed Erika's death.
Yeah.
I know I did that because I was like, we're not killing. No, that doesn't make sense. That's dumb, and it's just going to ruin a lot of stuff in the future. Because you were like talking about it, and I'm like, well, what are we going to do at the end of the series? What are we going to do with Naruto's wedding?
Yeah.
And so, hey, that's a good point. So yeah, I get that he's irrelevant for most of the series, but killing him off just seemed like irrelevant. I think that's the only big one. I think the biggest contention we've had was splitting episodes.
Yep.
And whether we split something into two parts or not. And then finding that stopping point.
Because it needs to tell a complete story.
Yeah.
In that.
Me personally, I'm more in favour of splitting an episode and having two parts as opposed to cutting stuff.
Yep.
That's just a me personal thing because I like a lot of what we've done, so I don't want to lose it. But then you make the decision to cut shit. I'm like, okay, whatever.
There is nearly 10 minutes of cut content from Shinden. Which I do actually plan on releasing.
Yeah.
If it's releasable.
Yeah.
It will release it after Shinden goes out.
Nice.
But it's a lot of that is just trimming the fat sort of things. But there are like whole 2-minute sequences.
Yeah, there's been some good sequences. Like I know there was one that I was really bummed about because I had such a lot of fun doing that scene.
My first one, Raiden.
Not even that. It wasn't that one. It was actually a Naruto one.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what it was. It might not even been a scene I was in, but it's been a couple of scenes that have been cut. I'm like, I really like that scene.
You told me about it before I cut it.
No, I think I told you not to cut it, and you still cut it. I can't remember whether it was like Konoha Crash or Konoha Crush, whatever it's fucking called. I don't know. It's two fights. Two fights does not an arc make. You can't. No, it's still shooting exams. It's dumb that it's called Konoha Crush. It's two fights.
Yeah.
It's Hiruzen versus Orochimaru and Naruto versus fucking Gaara.
Yeah.
Like, those are not... That's not an arc.
Yeah. It's like a clash.
Like, the Pain arc is not just the fight with Naruto.
And Pain, yeah.
It's the fight with Jiraiya and the fight with Naruto and all the Sage Mode stuff and everything like that. Like, there's a lot in there. But you could argue that that Pain fight with Naruto should just be its own arc. Why not?
Yeah. With the invasion of Pain... But I will say it right now, we're not doing it as part of the Jiraiya thing. Because I think Jiraiya as a character, despite being such a teacher, there's too much story to tell in that.
Yes.
And we're doing it a little bit differently to how people might expect it to be. Which you'll see when you have a chance to read the script.
I want to read it, finally. It's
Uh,
only been sitting there 3 weeks.
Pardon?
It's only been sitting there like 3 weeks, hasn't it?
No, I only wrote it last week.
Okay, cool. There's another script that I haven't read.
Yeah, the Hunt for Itachi.
Yeah. I'm not in that one much, I think.
No, I don't think you are. I know Kakashi.
Yeah, it's boring. Then I don't want to read it. I read the Jiraiya one because I'm paying. I get to kill Jiraiya.
Yeah. Another big point of contention I think that we've had is Boruto.
Oh,
And I don't mean covering Boruto. I mean in the fillers episode.
Yeah. You added the extra Boruto stuff. I don't like that.
Yeah. To give a bit of
Background?
Thank you. You wrote the episode in Word, then I took the episode and I put it into our scripting software, and I wrote some connective tissue just to try and make it a little bit smoother.
Yep.
I
liked how jarring it was.
Pardon?
I liked how jarring
I
it
know.
was.
I know you did.
I wrote that before we were actually going to do any movies as well.
Yep.
Because I included
Koyuki.
Koyuki, that's it. Snow. I was trying to think what's her name. It's something to do with snow, and it's like Yuki. Koyuki. Okay.
Yeah.
I included Koyuki as one of the princesses in that I hate ninjas. Now I don't hate ninjas. Because Naruto made everything better. Like,
Yeah.
That whole thing.
But the movie's really good. I'm really happy with how the movie came out.
We had the discussion about how it ends, yeah. That bit was like, do we end it there or not? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
We end it there. Because you're like 3 minutes after this of all the other stuff. Like, no, end it there.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Yeah, one of the commenters, I'll actually put the comment right, hang on, let me turn towards the camera, right here. One of the commenters is like, wait, that's it? And that's the reaction we wanted to
That's
get.
that's exactly what we were going for with that.
Yeah, after the splat, there was going to be this whole joke about a fake out ending.
Yeah, it was going to cut to the credits and then cut back.
Yeah, and then it was going to finish off the movie, but then Bane didn't end up recording half of that dialogue. And it just felt really flat.
Yeah.
And I've alluded to it in the past, but it just didn't get funnier after that.
Mm.
And then we had a post-credit scene. It just didn't work. Ended the splat. Move on.
Yeah. It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I think originally when we discussed it, I know that I wanted to play it slightly differently. Like we did use what I wanted in there with the it was more of a throwaway thing with Gato. Not Gato. Was it Gato?
No, with what's his name? Not Sasset.
The bad guy. Doto.
Doto, thank you.
Doto. Yeah, I said Goto. Doto. With Doto saying he'd funded the movie crew so they would film in the last day.
Yeah.
When we originally threw it out there, I was talking about how we should actually literally rewrite the movie to make it good.
Yep.
To make and then play it super serious.
I remember
just to have this whole Doto has, because it's Koyuki, she hasn't changed her book at all.
Yeah.
She didn't dye her hair or anything like that. It's and spoilers for Shang-Chi. It's that whole conversation about, wait, your name's Shang-Chi and you changed your name to Sean.
Yeah.
That. It was basically, it was that before, we had that discussion before Shang-Chi was even a thing. I don't think Shang-Chi had even been announced at that stage.
It had been. We discussed the movie going into production last year.
Okay.
And Shang-Chi was announced in 2019, if you can believe it.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
San Diego 2019.
Yeah, but it was that whole premise of you literally did nothing to hide yourself. You look, it's here's a picture of you as a baby. Here's a picture of you now. They're the same picture.
Yeah.
That was the angle I wanted to go. It's it was so easy to find you. You hid yourself as the most famous actress in the world.
Yeah.
That's not hiding.
Yeah.
Do you know how easy it is to be a person with money who, I run a kingdom, I have money. Hey, film studio, you know what you should do? You should do some on-location stuff in our country and we'll pay you big money to do it. What film crew isn't going to go for that?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Shang-Chi filmed in Sydney.
Yeah. And it's cool. We want you guys to do the thing here.
Yeah.
And it's only convincing Koyuki to go there. And that's what, the movie basically does that. It just happened to be that they were deciding to go to the land of ice and snow or whatever it's called. Which, it was one of those situations where Doto lucked out in the actual movie. Whereas, in my version, but it was going to be super straight, super straight. It was going to be not funny.
Yeah. Which Pythonics in particular would have struggled with. Love him dearly, but he really struggles with more serious stuff.
Yeah.
Excels at funny Naruto.
Yeah. So it was going to be very down the line, and just have this whole thing where Koyuki's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And the whatever his name was, the guy who dies. You know who I mean.
Yeah, his name's going to bother me.
Yeah. He didn't do a good job hiding it.
Yeah.
At all. Like, you don't hide as the most famous movie star in the world and not change your look. Like, cut your hair, dye it.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to hide, you go hide in a ninja village.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, Konoha,
protect me.
I'm a princess from this country. This dude wants to kill me. He basically has 3 ninja on his side. Can I just live here?
Yeah.
I'm just not going to make a noise. I'm just going to chill out here, and that's where I'm going to stay for the rest of my life.
You know what Hiruzen would have done? Built her a fucking castle.
Right? would have made her the Hokage and put her face on a friggin' monument. It's like Dodo's like, Stone Monument looks familiar. I'm going to go to Konoha, and then he would just get wrecked.
Yeah.
3 ninja in Dodo.
Yeah. You, speaking of that movie and the stupidness about them, you actually contributed the whole drunk Koyuki monologue.
Yes.
About ninjas and blah, blah, blah.
Movies don't make sense in the ninja world.
Yeah.
They do not.
Yeah.
A lot of the modern conveniences we have. Because when you've got people flying around, like if you have superheroes, you don't have superhero movies.
Yeah.
Because they're just biographies at that stage.
Yeah.
And no one... I mean, yes, people like biographies and stuff like that, but when you've got supers, it's normal. And...
What's that line of Syndromes?
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Exactly. That's yes. Yeah, and it's like it takes away the edge. That's why movies like the Marvel movies and DC and stuff like that do well. Like movies that are period pieces and stuff like that do well. But I don't think like movies in a ninja world would work.
Yeah.
Considering that technically everyone has chakra. I have the whole thing about ninjas in the ninja world. Like that's a whole other conversation. How there won't be any ninjas in like 100 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Jumping back to Boruto and the contention, which is how we got onto that point.
Yes.
Boruto was doing the arc at the time when we wrote that, where Sasuke and Boruto travel back in time.
Yes.
And I pitched quite heavily adapting that arc there and then, so that way everyone could still remember really clearly how to do the childhood voices and a couple of other reasons. And you vetoed that.
I hate the idea of doing that, and time travel is done poorly in a lot of cases, and manga and anime don't tend to get time travel right.
Yeah.
And I knew that time travel from Boruto was like it was going to be problematic from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, and I haven't watched the arc because I don't watch Boruto. Having seen snippets here and there, it's problematic.
Yeah.
It's 100% problematic.
It ends with Sasuke wiping everyone's memory, except the guy that invented the train around Konoha.
That's dumb.
Yeah. And it's played as a joke, but yeah. And Jiraiya works out that it's Sasuke.
Yeah.
I
It's just like that. Like, you don't do a time... If you're going to do a time travel arc and just erase people's memories, why do a time travel arc?
Exactly, there's no point. That's like Trunks traveling back from, in the future, traveling back when everyone had want everyone of the androids in a cell and then wiping everyone's memory.
Yeah, it just makes
afterwards.
sense.
So
it just negates the purpose of having that arc.
Yeah.
Because all it is Boruto goes back in time to see how bad his dad had it.
Yeah.
Just ask someone.
Yeah. Like,
literally just walk up to someone and say, hey, do you remember when Naruto was a kid? Yeah, we hated that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Except for Shoji Shikamaru and...
But you did, in the end, allow me to include the 2 scenes that we do have.
Yes.
And Impolite Bite plays a really funny Boruto.
Yes.
The 2 scenes he has.
The only 2 scenes he'll ever have.
Look, no, he'll have one more. He'll have a couple more.
Okay.
Because not that we're doing Boruto.
Sarada cameo is the best thing I've done.
But with the end of series plans and stuff.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about later. But yeah, I need to get the next
I
question.
assume that's to do with Naruto the Last.
Yeah. And the day Naruto became Hokage and stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh shit, we just spoiled it. Oh, whatever, I don't care.
We're doing Naruto. If we're starting Shippuden, we're probably going to get up to the last.
Yeah.
And if we don't...
Not getting to the last is like stopping at the South Side.
Anyway.
You touched on it briefly regarding your relationship with Naruto as a franchise. But do you have anything more you can add? And what's your relationship with Digimon as a franchise? Because I know you love Digimon.
Digimon is one of the series I grew up with. Like I had the actual Digimon and everything like that. I played the hell out of Digimon World 2. And yeah, I was very avidly in it. Like Tamers is like somehow I sort of kind of missed Tamers. Because Tamers came out in Australia in that weird time period where we stopped getting Digimon on broadcast TV and it all moved on to like Foxtel.
Yep.
And I didn't have Foxtel in that time period. So it means that I've seen episodes at the start of Tamers and I've seen episodes at the end of Tamers.
Yep.
So like I've got the episode where what's his name? Takado. I was trying to I'm like, how would I remember that? Takado man.
Is that the Gilmon voice?
Yeah man. Yeah.
That's so good.
Dickhead. Takado getting Gearmon and like with Renamon and Terriermon and stuff like that. But then I have all the stuff with like Impmon and Beelzemon in my head as well. And I know they're at opposite ends of the series.
Yeah.
Like Beelzemon is like the last bit.
No.
Or towards the end.
He's about halfway through.
Oh, well, then I don't know the end of the series.
The end of the series
I know Leomon dies.
off the rails.
I know Leomon dies.
Yeah, he dies in that bit with Beelzemon, but then there's like 20 episodes, it just goes nuts after.
But then I got back in with Frontier.
Frontier's great. Frontier is super underrated, and I think you've convinced me to watch it.
Frontier is fun because back as a kid, I was a fanfiction writer.
Yeah.
I did a lot of fanfiction, and I've got like this really intricately interconnected Pokemon universe and stuff like that, where every time I'd write a new series, I'd include characters from the other stuff. It was great. A lot of good world building in there. But I also wrote Digimon fanfiction. And when I started, I actually designed Human Digivolution at the time when the series started. And I started writing during 02.
Jesus.
So it was way before Frontier came out. And when Human Digivolution came out, I'm like, sold.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And this is the best thing ever. Yes, I'm all for this. But I haven't watched Beyond Frontier.
Okay.
And I think I've watched all but 2 episodes of Frontier.
Okay.
So like, because there was a marathon on Foxtel back in the day, and I literally sat there and watched every single episode back to back.
Yeah.
Because it was during like school holidays or something like that. I just
Nice.
watched every single episode of Frontier, and I think I missed 2 out of that entire thing. Because it was like starting at 9, and I got up at like 9:30 one day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. Frontier's great. Tamers is great. It's clear that Bandai have a boner for Adventure though. I just wish the reboot had been as good as what the last episode proved it could have been. Last couple of episodes proved the
I actually
reboot
haven't
would have
watched the
been
reboot.
fucking amazing.
Haven't watched the reboot.
There's
I think I started watching it.
Did
I
you?
got like 1 episode in.
Yeah, the first episode was great.
Wait, is the reboot Try?
No.
Oh, then I watched like 1 episode of Try.
That could, in that case, that could be like 1 out of 24 or 1 out of 6, depending on how you slice it.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember where I even watched it.
That's fair. It was on Crunchyroll.
Oh, then I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get around to watching Try. I didn't want to watch it subbed because I've got such a nostalgia heart for the dub cast.
Which they didn't even bring back everyone.
Yeah, they didn't.
They brought back most people, though.
Most people. Some people had passed away. Some people had retired. Some people had weren't available. There are whispers that, for example, Neil Kaplan wasn't able to be involved in Kizuna as Hawkmon due to, I've seen 3 accounts. It's either union stuff, availability, and clashing in scheduling, or COVID.
Okay.
Those are the main
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, I've met him. He met him at a con, and he signed a Toby print for me, doing the Madara voice, and signed it as Obito Uchiha before he had been unmasked in the manga.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know if he just picked up that that's the way the story was going, but
yeah, that's pretty.
It was pretty fucking obvious, but
yeah,
it was still cool when it happened though. Like the internet broke.
It was the Roman guy. I mean, it was Naruto. I mean, it was anyone with spiky hair. It was actually Naruto from the future.
Or Starscape from the future was floating around for a while. Madara's brother, Izuna.
I always played with the 10-10 theory.
Ah, yes, the 10-10. I love the 10-10 theory. Let's not say too much about it because I want to write that in.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that you do have that positive relationship with at least one of the projects we're doing.
Yeah.
It's a nice change.
Look, if you can get critical of a series, I think that's good.
Yeah, especially with the work that we do.
Yeah, I think it's important to be critical of a series. I don't think you can abridge something that you love too much.
Yeah.
Because then you can't
look at it with a critical eye.
Yeah, you can't look at it with a critical eye. I think looking at something with a critical eye, and something like if you look at anime, it's a lot easier to criticize older stuff.
Yeah.
And like I've spoken to you because you've spoken to me about whether or not One Piece would be potential. Like One Piece A is too long to abridge, but B, the balance in the series is too good. And I mean, if you look at successful bridge series, you look at Yu-Gi-Oh, you look at Dragon Ball Z, you look at, even with what we're doing, with Naruto and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff that works is because of issues with the series.
Yeah.
And again, I love One Piece, so I'm probably a bit biased, but One Piece is pretty tight-knit. There are only a few minor issues, and you can't really make huge jokes out of it.
Yeah.
Like the most you could say is, we're going to make fun of the Syrup Village arc because it's the most boring part of the East Blue Saga. Okay.
Does it blind by like the arc?
Yeah. Kuro over 1,000 plans. Here's one plan. It goes terribly. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Like there's not good because it's this really good mix of comedy and seriousness, and then it gets really really dark. You either got to play stuff straight, you either got to play really serious notes of comedy, which doesn't work. It's too hard to find balance. Like things like Bleach still work.
Yeah.
Because Bleach has a lot of issues. Naruto works better than Bleach though, because Naruto has more issues.
I think that, sorry I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I think one of the things that works particularly in our favour is that you've got someone who loves the series like me, and flip side of that coin is you, who despises the series.
I don't despise
or can
it.
at least be actively critical.
I just know that the series is not good.
As opposed to certain other content creators who are all massive fans of the IP they're abridging and have a lot of trouble removing that.
It's why LK did such a good job with Yu-Gi-Oh! He loves Yu-Gi-Oh! But he knows it's flawed. And he knows it's terribly flawed, which is why it works. I mean, like, it's why the series did as well as it did, because it's picking apart series that he enjoys. Dragon Ball Z, like Abridged, that did the same thing, where it was, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of the dialogue they use is lifted from one of the dubs.
Yeah, they reference the Big Green dub, for example, with calling Dende Little Green.
Yeah.
Because Piccolo was called Big Green in the Big Green dub.
Yeah. It's just like, there's like, and people miss a lot of that and think it's original writing. No offense to Team 4-Star, but it's not. It is lifted directly from their scripts. It's why it works. But you don't get that, like, a lot more modern shonen, especially modern shonen. Like, it's harder to abridge things like Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. You can have a bit of fun with My Hero, but it's still too tight. Black Clover, especially. Black Clover handles its characters really well, and they're really, really nuanced, and they don't fall into these tropes where they're, like, just a girl for the sake of being a girl.
Yeah.
Like, Kishimoto can't write women.
No.
Like, we know that.
On my way down here, I was actually listening to TNM's latest releases about that, and I generally agree with what he's saying, but especially with the women.
Oh yeah, the women in Naruto are horribly written. Like, considering Hinata is the first well-written female, and you've already been introduced to Sakura and Ino at that stage.
Yeah.
It's like...
I did like to praise Tsunade. Tsunade is really well written. Like, ridiculously well, especially for that series. Ridiculously well.
But that's where her character development stops.
Yeah,
her character's development stops in the arc she's introduced.
Yeah, she doesn't really progress. Like, she gets stronger, she has bigger beats. What all she does is just reiterate, especially in the war, and gets pain.
Her hemophobia goes away in the same arc it's introduced.
Yeah. Like, she's bisected in the war. Spoilers for an anime that finished nearly 10 years ago. Or manga that nearly finished nearly 10 years ago. She gets bisected here. And she's just like, just buff and scratch.
Yeah. After, like,
That's right, I must remember that.
breaking down completely at the first sign of blood in the original. It's
Yeah.
like, but that's her entire character development. It's basically broken character who's like gambling and lots of stuff who can't stand blood. By the end of that arc, even though she really doesn't take gambling beyond that.
Yeah, she just goes and gets drunk. She just goes and gets drunk a bunch.
Yeah, and even then, not really all that much.
Yeah.
She just sits in the office all the time.
Yeah.
Until like the pain arc.
Where she fights and gets beaten.
Yeah.
And then
Today.
Yeah, and then in the war she gets beaten and then Madara fucks off. And she then does basically nothing after that because the Edo first 4 Kage show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why have strong female characters when you can have dead men instead?
Exactly. Yeah, progressive.
Yeah, Kishi. I'm going to have to try and remember a lot of this because a lot of these are really funny points. With regards to episodes and production timelines, as you know, we're about, generally speaking, when we write an episode, it's got about 18 to 24 months away from being released.
Yes.
On YouTube. Doesn't mean it'll take us that long to make the episode, but when the public sees it is about 2 years after we write it. So how do you think that impacts our journey as content creators?
I think it impacts from a writing perspective because we can't have topical humor. Like we can't just have a reference to something that's going on in the world right now because it's going to date.
Yeah.
I think it's been a deliberate thing with the writing because we've seen it happen in other series.
The Simpsons, for example.
Simpsons is definitely one that, does very topical humor.
That's always a year outdated.
Not always. Some stuff they predicted a lot of stuff. But like, even in the abridging area, it's like Team 4 Star got to the point towards the end where they'd make a reference that, that's going to age well. Because they knew they were making a reference like, cool, that's not going to be relevant in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like the Moon Knights, when they were done in both Team 4 Star and in Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. In Yu-Gi-Oh! They were the dudes on the rooftop that were wearing the cloaks. It's an Aquitaine Hunger Force reference.
Okay, that went over
and they were the dudes on Fake Namek as well.
Okay.
I think there were similar references to the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never seen Aquitaine Hunger Force. I just know that they both mentioned that it was a reference. But that's a really dated reference that no one's going to get anymore.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't age. And because we know that the production schedule is so long, it just means all the references pretty much have to be either already old references that are just callbacks from stuff like 7 or 8 years ago, dumb things we think of, or just in-series references.
Or update things as we go along through production.
Yes.
With writing new jokes.
Yeah.
Which we've done a couple of times.
I've done a couple of times, but not much.
Yeah.
It's mostly in-series stuff.
Yeah. And one commenter once got pissed off that there were 2 Star Wars references in an episode.
Yeah.
So I now make a point to try and get a Star Wars reference.
Which I think they only picked up 2 of the 5.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on.
Yeah, so I try and get at least 1 in there per episode.
You've missed a couple there, but okay. Don't watch Digimon, mate. Because you get Jedi.
Oh, yeah. Jedi, his name in the credits.
Kenobi.
From episode 3 onwards, I missed it in episode 1, but from episode 3 onwards, he's actually credited as Jedi 1 Kenobi. And in Kizuna, Tai actually calls him Master Jedi.
Yeah.
So
it works.
Yeah, and like that's not lost on anybody. And that was in production at the same time that episode 1 was the Phantom Menace was big, so it makes sense. Even if it is really blatant. I forgot my next question. I was going to segue really clearly then, and I just blanked. Is there, keeping topical of references and jokes and blah, 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 do you have a favourite joke from Naruto and Digimon?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Forest of what? He's always a good one.
Oh my god, Pythonics nailed that.
That's probably one of my favourite jokes that isn't a line that I've done.
Yeah.
Digimon... Honestly, I just come back to the, I'm helping.
Shelmon was such a good idea.
Why not Zyborg?
Yeah.
I think that's how that thing came about. I was like, what are we going to do with Shelmon? I'm like, why not Zyborg?
And it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked. And I'm so glad that we have a rule of 3 in comedy, and we wherever possible we keep that. I Am Here is 5 times, I think. The 5th time is a play on the everything though.
Yeah.
And one of them happened in non-canon, so it doesn't count.
Correct.
According to Naruto.
Correct.
Well, 2 of them happen in non-canon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whatever.
That's fair. Do you have a favourite line, speaking of... Or did I just ask that question?
You
Favourite
did.
scene. Sorry, favourite scene.
You did. I don't know. I like what we did with the Rock Snake fight.
Versus Gaara?
Yeah.
Or versus Kimi?
Gaara.
Gaara.
With Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of my favourites.
We've played it before, so I'm not going to play the clip here because we've already... You can refer to my interview with Christopher Dowling to see that whole clip, or check it out on YouTube at this link. Or even in the comment section. I keep getting the camera's not here, it's here. In the comment section below.
Put it just on the shelf.
Good idea.
Just a nice big like button box thing here.
Yeah.
There you are, guys. Just click on stuff on whatever.
I'll work it out.
Yeah. I'll fix it in post.
Yeah. And Digimon, do you have a favourite scene?
Nothing stands out. Like I like a lot of scenes in that, but there's nothing that really stands out. Yeah, nothing that really like picks me as like this is the best scene in the series.
My favourite scene that you're in Digimon hasn't been released yet.
Okay. I think I know, but at the same time, I'm not going to ask because obviously this. Yeah, I can't read lips.
Yeah, I forgot that you can't read my lips.
Don't worry about it. Move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any... We touched on it briefly, but do you have any other roles within Journeyman Abridged aside from acting? And what do those roles entail?
Do I have any roles other than acting and writing?
Yes.
Aside from anything that's mentioned, no.
Really?
Do I have other roles?
Well, you've co-produced the series, you co-created it, you co-directed it.
Yes. Aside from the production level, no.
Okay.
It's all like the directing and writing and stuff like that. Like, yeah, okay, that's all. We've already mentioned all of that.
That's fair. Here's things I don't think we've mentioned though. Do you have any characters that you look at and you're like, damn, wish I was playing that character instead?
Orochimaru and Zabuza.
I know why. Yep.
Purely for the Steve Bloom fix.
Yep.
Because I voice, I think, almost every other character that Steve Bloom voices.
Yep.
In both Digimon and Naruto.
Yep.
So if you know a character that's voiced by Steve Bloom, I voice it. I
know this is a really hard question for you to answer because with most of the characters you play, you're like, I'm playing this character.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say like that. Like that's been the thing is like I'm playing this character. Because originally when we started and we were originally casting the Akatsuki, I wasn't voicing any of them.
Yeah.
And I've just taken
3 of them.
I've taken 3 of them. I took Pain, Sasori, and Hidan.
Yeah.
So I do just take things when I want them.
Yeah. It's very selfish of you.
It is.
You did it to me 3 times.
Yeah, well, it's what I do. But I also need to break you out of doing as many roles because you end up voicing stuff that does sound similar. I don't know if it's me hearing your voice too much that makes me realize that or what. But I mean, you've picked it yourself with some stuff. Like I know you had a bit of a struggle with Middle Garurumon and Wargreymon.
I have re-recorded both of them in full, and I've learned I voiced out for a month.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to record since then.
Yeah, so I know that's a thing. So I don't know if there's any voices that I would want to take off anyone else.
In that case, I'm curious.
Unless I was going to be a real dick about it.
Yeah. Alright, okay, well, who would you say? If you're going to be a real dick about it...
I take Orochimaru and Zabuza.
Okay, well, for example's sake, what would Orochimaru and Zabuza sound like if they'd been played by TwstdFlaems?
It's literally just my Steve Bloom voice, like, hi, how's it going? I'm Orochimaru.
Well, I'm really glad you kind of did get to play Orochimaru.
Give me a kid.
I need an adult.
I am the adult. Yeah. And Zabuza would have just been straight Steve Bloom voice.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah. Which I find it funny that in the English dub, Steve Bloom plays both Zabuza and the predecessor to Zabuza.
Yeah, Juzo.
Juzo.
Yeah.
And he just plays both of them. It's just Steve Bloom voice.
Yeah, and I've spoken to Omega. He's playing Juzo with the same voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he hadn't been able to do that, though, you would have been.
I'm taking that.
Yeah, we had that discussion.
You're giving me a second swordsman for this.
Yes.
After Ryza.
Yes.
Ryza? Ryga.
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 Yeah, I think you're thinking of Ryzo.
I think I'm Ryza, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong ninja.
Believe it.
I mean, I do have Hanzo as well. I don't think we've announced that.
No, we haven't. Oh, fuck it. Fuck it. What does Hanzo sound like? Want to give us a little teaser?
Yes.
We don't know the darkness. I was born in it, molded by it. I did not see the light until I was already a man.
I need an adult.
It's literally just Bane voice.
For Hanzo's dialogue so far, I've done something very, very deliberate with writing it.
Yay!
And you'll see it.
I love it. I love it.
And I did it just because I know how much you love that.
It's one of those dumb things I've done.
I remember when I first spoke to 2.0 about coming on board and joining the cast, which he's already recorded his first 2 episodes.
Nice.
We've announced him as Killer Bean. He plays another character, which I'm not going to announce when. But I realized that he could play the brother of both Omega and Bane in a vocal capacity because they all have such similar natural voices and ranges, which isn't a knock on anybody. But he walked up to me at work, and one of my other many jobs, and said, "Hey, just had a question. Who just remind me who plays Orochimaru?" And I said, "Why do you ask?" And he goes, and he did his version of Orochimaru, and it scared the shit out of me because it was pitch perfect.
Yeah. It's one of those things where if you go back, you would have cast him as Orochi.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Which isn't a knock on you and Steve Bloom voice.
No.
It was just...
I only want it because of Steve Bloom. It's like the Steve Bloom thing.
Maybe I could cast him as Mitsuki. And Log.
That could work.
But that depends on if we do the Boruto movie or not.
That could work.
Yeah.
If we do it.
Yeah.
I hate one of the characters' names Log. Yeah. It just reminds me of what Mazuko and Vegeta did with
Log!
Cook it at chicken.
And not a knock on them, but that's one thing I do try to avoid us doing, and that's...
making those references.
Making those references, of course, but also actively editing in new stuff into pre-existing footage, like Clucky, I think the chicken's name was.
Chicken.
And the Log and stuff like that. Like, Grogu, Baby Yoda, that was cameo in episode 1 of Digimon. That's so the reference didn't age out of knowledge. Like, Baby Yoda was like, oh, it's Grogu, okay. And like the house with
My cabin,
thank you. And stuff like that. Like that stuff is where I tend to draw the line.
Yeah.
But
that's such an in-series reference, and I mean it is a reference to another Abridged series as well, but it is still very Piximon. Just My cabin,
which is so funny.
And it's great. I love it.
And it was really, really hard to find. I wanted to use the cabin in the woods that is specifically being talked about. I couldn't get a clean enough shot, so I just went to another cabin from the Bulbasaur episode.
Yeah, it was the Bulbasaur episode. We got that one.
And I was able to find that and I ripped that. And then edited it and then
dropped it in. Love
it. Dropped it in. I get it. Trying to think where to go from here because we kind of jumped around a lot.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's okay. So psychologically, how do you prepare to play? I guess kind of plays in a little bit to the question I asked earlier about acting. But how do you get ready to play characters like Kakashi or Shikamaru or Agumon?
It's literally like the voice is what triggers it for me.
Okay.
So I play using the voice. So that's what my go-to is. So Kakashi, because of the vocal register for Kakashi, it's a down voice.
Yeah.
So the mentality is that you can't be hyperactive with that.
Yeah.
It's a low energy voice. So it just means that you just... And you can get into the Kakashi voice. I hate everyone.
Yeah, and that's your in.
Shikamaru is the... what a drag.
Yeah.
yeah. It's, again, low energy. Whereas Agumon is that, like, bit more. It's just like, hi!
Yeah.
And the hi is the way in.
Yeah, and then you got Joe, I'm allergic to everything.
I'm allergic to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dosu is like the, I know, right?
Yeah.
Hi there. How's it going? I know.
Or Genman Hayato's like,
There we go. Let's get this rolling. Let's do the thing.
yeah.
Let's do the thing now. Love it. Cusco's poison. The poison made specifically for Cusco.
Are there any scenes or characters that you wish we'd done differently?
Ooh,
Better be thrown under the bus with this one.
I don't think so, no.
Really?
I don't think there's anything I'm unhappy with how it's been handled.
Aside from what's already been mentioned.
Aside from what's already been mentioned, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I would change how any of the characters were depicted. Yeah, no. I think that's fine.
Here's a pitch. If we were to go back and rewind, I don't want to do this, by the way. I just want to clear the air. I don't want to do this. If we were to go back and remake episode 1, in this hypothetical situation, I wouldn't mix the prologue with Land of Waves.
Do it as two separate?
I feel like we lost a lot of potential humour, and I love how we did it, but I feel like we lost a lot with the training, which was originally written a lot longer, but I didn't feel comfortable including 1,000 Years of Pain, because that's just uncomfortable. And then...
missing out on the kind of Hamaru stuff as well.
Yep. Isn't... what's his name? Inari?
Inari, yeah.
And we cut Inari...
And Meku Tsunami as his dad.
Yep. I don't think I would have been able to think of anything better than that, then why don't you ever ride to the ocean?
Yeah.
But with the Inari thing, it's very interesting because of the way you play Puzzler.
I was going to say, if we played that out properly, it was going to just be Rick and Morty.
Yep. And before that, the idea, the key reason why we cut Inari is because Mona Marshall, who plays Inari in the original, uses her Izzy voice. And at the time, we hadn't cast Izzy.
Yes, correct.
And then as well, we're in production for it, we discovered that Shy Ghost can do a pitch perfect Izzy. But by that point, it was too late.
Yeah.
So if we were to go back, we would split the episodes and tell a little bit more like the training and a little bit more backstory. We'd include the Demon Brothers.
Because the Land of Waves cuts literally from meeting Zabas for the first time to the bridge.
Yeah.
It's like, we missed out all that middle section, going to the house and doing the training and everything like that. So yeah, there was a lot of missed potential in that bit.
Yeah. And I'll be the first to admit that. But that was also to make sure, like, a lot of other content creators who start Naruto get through that bit.
Yeah.
And don't I'm generalizing heavily here. Don't get beyond that. Don't get to the tuning exams. Don't get to... Speaking of tuning exams, the flies, and I know, right?
That scene was just like, it was just this really dark cutaway I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So just cutting through all the characters and having the introductions, and then, why don't we just cut to the dead bodies?
So I'm like, I don't know. Because I was really, really, like, everything's got to be exactly right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too open to
no, this will be funny. Because it's like, Gaara, Tamari, Dosu, dead bodies.
I know, right?
It's just like a random thing. It's like, they're already dead.
And that actually, having that looseness, and really, you dragged me, kicking and screaming, having that looseness.
100%.
Actually made the project as good as it could be. Because it allowed us to edit the episode, say, okay, cool, so while going through footage, we thought of this joke, or we added this in, or blah, 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 we had this idea. So we can actually move stuff around. And I think the second big, the one that actually woke me up and said, fuck, this could actually be really good and save us a lot of stuff is...
Sakura, I will never pull out.
Huh?
That's the Sarada.
Yeah. And that was, someone actually commented on about how fucking funny that was.
Yeah. And I was right.
Yeah, you were. 1,000%.
Never doubt me.
All
my decisions are good decisions.
Well...
all my decisions are good decisions.
Okay. Like I said, I think the only thing we've ever really disagreed on was Boruto being in the fillers episode.
Yes.
And then we came to a nice middle ground on that.
Yes.
That I just did it and you just accepted it.
Yeah, exactly. You just did it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. But it worked well. It was good. Like, it was good.
This fault's not my fault.
Well, exactly. You only wrote it.
I wrote a part of it.
But on that note, there was actually an idea I toyed with during that whole bit with the Sasuke fight against Naruto is splitting that into 3. So it would have ended where it did with episode 7. I'm trying to remember episode numbers versus production codes.
Yeah.
And then episode 8 would have just been Sasuke versus Naruto, basically.
Yeah.
And then episode 9 would be the aftermath. And then I'd mesh Jiraiya's scene with Naruto in the hospital with what was written for episode 8, with what you wrote for episode 9, and then it'd go straight into the fillers.
Yeah.
But I like what we did better.
I preferred keeping the fillers completely separate.
Yeah.
And like having canon material mixed with the fillers. Remember that? Companies like Toei and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked having that as a completely separate.
And we were able to surprise the audience as well.
It's pretty much, you can skip this episode if you want.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to watch this episode.
Yeah.
This is the point of fillers.
Yeah. We did the big, end of series credits with episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, okay, cool, they finished Naruto. Guess we're just waiting for Digimon now while they work on Shippuden. Cool.
Yep.
And then we just drop episode 9 without telling anybody.
Here's fillers, have fun.
Which we kind of teased before, but no one really noticed. But I didn't tell anyone, you didn't tell anyone. We just dropped the episode.
Yeah. I think the one thing I would change with production would have been the fillers song. And just getting that perfect.
I wish we'd known at the time.
Yeah.
And that was a logistical nightmare to get right. And then it went live, and then what happened?
And then I figured out exactly how to do the thing that I needed to do like 2 days after it went live.
So then I just took that and uploaded it.
Yeah. It was like,
separately.
Damn it. I can't remember how I figured it out, but it was just, I think it was...
Didn't you find the website via TikTok?
Yes, it was TikTok. A TikTok video, funnily enough, I got to try and find the original video for that. Found TikTok that actually gave me the exact answer I needed and went, you motherfucker. I hate you. All right, let's fiddle with this. God damn, that's perfect.
Yeah. So I've actually got that that bookmarked, that website.
Nice.
In case we need to use it again.
Yeah, I think I've got a bookmark as well. It's one of my mini production websites that I use.
It's so useful. And I'll use it again in Digimon episode 4.
Will you?
Yeah.
Okay.
20 pickups for episode 4.
Okay.
Joe.
Cool. How many episodes of Digimon are there going to be?
That we've announced? Or that are currently in production?
That are going to happen with Digimon 01.
With 015.
Cool, okay.
Yeah. So there's File Island and Continent of Server that have already been
You actually
released.
have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't?
Nope.
Okay. Oh no, what are you planning?
If it happens, it'll be great.
Okay. And then of course there's
Should I go something about it?
what are you guys planning behind Sorry, I didn't mean to spittle there. What are you guys planning behind my back?
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Alright, I trust you. Is it to do with Joe and Mimi? Joe and Mimi stuff? What characters do you guys play together?
We play a lot of characters, man. She's also Izzy. I'm also Agumon.
Yeah, you are.
She's also Lilymon. I'm Leomon. And my Otismon.
I need an adult.
Now I'm just confusing.
Yeah, you are. My brain went like 50 different directions.
That's the point.
Thank you. And then, of course, episode 3 is the Battle with my Otismon. Episode 4 is Dark Master. Episode 5 is War Game. It's all stuff we've announced before. And then I thought we did the 02 thing.
Yeah.
And I really like the way that we set things up. Like in episode 1 of Naruto, we set up Obito with flashback. We set up Yukio Oikawa, slight spoiler.
Yes.
We set up the original Chosen Children in Daigo and Maki and their battle against Dark Masters in episode 1, the Digimon. I just really love how much foresight we are able to have about setting shit up. It's one of my favorite things that we do as content creators.
Oh yeah.
Because it fixes so many inconsistencies in storytelling.
Correct.
It's like, why didn't they set this up earlier? Oh, it's stopping us from doing it. Oh.
Correct.
That's why episode 0 of Naruto happened, with the birth of Naruto Uzumaki telling Minato's backstory with Kushina and stuff like that.
Because it's necessary.
But now we don't have to waste time in episodes telling us. We've now told that whole story.
Correct.
That's why we're doing Shinden with Itachi.
Yep.
Which is going to spoil a lot of the tension for those that aren't fully aware of it, but they don't care, to be quite frank.
Correct.
Because we need to tell that story without doing, and I counted, 10 flashbacks to the fucking Uchiha massacre.
Oh, don't worry. The anime for Dressrosa did the worst job. Dressrosa had, like, Rebecca's flashback, like, 7 times.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they were too close to the manga.
Oh my god.
Dressrosa has more episodes than chapters, I think.
Jesus.
The anime ran for, I think, a bit longer than the manga did.
Wow. Will Wano have the same problem, do you think?
What? Yes, Wano will 100% have the same problem. However, with the way that Wano's going, Wano's having a lot more packed in, which you're probably noticing from the chapters.
Yeah, which is giving the anime team
well,
space
a lot of stuff's not getting fleshed out, which means that, like, episode 982, which is the one that they went nuts for, was, I think, half a chapter.
Okay.
And, like, because 978, which is 4 episodes earlier, is when Jinbei comes back.
Yep.
Spoilers.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. Actually, it's
982 is them deciding not to do drinks with Jinbei then and wait until after, which I think is over 2 chapters.
Yeah.
That's 4 episodes.
Fuck.
But from a production standpoint and how the anime did it, it's so well done that you don't notice it that long.
Yep.
So the anime is doing a really good job of stuff, and I think they're doing some special stuff around episode 1000. That's going to be like flashbacks and stuff like that to older stuff with re-editing, like redoing the footage and stuff like that.
I think you mentioned something about that happening with Zoro and Mihawk.
Yeah, well, I showed you.
Was that from an episode of Eastblade?
I might have been from episode of Eastblade.
Yeah.
But that footage, so clean.
Yeah.
So clean.
Yeah.
Because you really just pass it. Because you're doing a watch through now with Impolite. And you've just passed that point.
Yeah, we're in Island Park.
So you've just seen that fight, and then I showed you the updated.
No, it was just like,
but it's so much better. So much better.
My jaw just became, what's his name? Karakuki? Karakuki?
Katakuri?
Yeah, with the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my jaw did.
Pelicanil.
Yep. Oh yeah, if you can't tell, I'm up to date on One Piece now. And we are actually reacting to the One Piece openings as I make my way through the openings for the first time, and you can see those in the description below.
Or somewhere on the screen here, maybe, who knows.
I'm going to have to increase
You're going to have
the
a
plugs,
lot,
aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
Did you see that in the other interviews that are
No.
full length? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's actually a counter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, of how much I plug shit. Yeah.
Cool.
But hey, we've got to plug shit.
I like it.
Yeah, big fan. Somebody actually asked on Reddit the other day what the biggest surprise in One Piece was. I spoke to you about what mine was. But I realized last night that that's not the case. My biggest surprise that made me say, what the fuck, was Smiles. And the truth behind Smiles.
Oh, yeah.
That was the biggest holy what the fuck moment.
Because that's been so great. And when you mentioned it to me, I was like, cool. Here's where it's first mentioned.
Yeah, and I went back and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, cool. Yeah, it was first mentioned on Sabrina.
Yeah.
It's like, that's 3 times here.
Yeah.
Shit. That's pre-Marineford.
Yeah.
The future is Smiles.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. And then, or Shanks using Conqueror's Haki.
Yeah.
When he saves Luffy.
Yeah.
Which I, of course, didn't pick up on it. But when Impolite and I were watching that episode, I'm just like, holy shit!
Yep.
And she's like, what? I'm like, I can't tell you. So I'll have to remember to go back and show her that episode.
Yeah, for sure.
When we get further along, whenever that happens.
Next question.
I shall take a look.
Okay.
So I guess this is a bit of an insight into your production schedule, because being that you voice more characters, you and I voice the most characters out of anyone else.
Yes.
In Digimon alone, we have nearly 100 credits each.
Yeah, not sure.
Which is not a flex, it's just fact. Total flex. But then, each, we don't count, like, the Agumon line as one character.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Koromon, Agumon.
Well, to be fair, I was going to say, you've voiced, like, 5 of the 6.
Yeah.
I voiced 1 of them, so...
Yeah. But how many sessions would you say you go through per episode?
Depends on the episode and depends how many lines.
Yeah.
So I know that like in an episode like the episode 0 of Naruto, I didn't have much dialogue because I voiced Kakashi and Hayate and Azuma and what's her face's dad?
Shinku Yuki.
Yeah. I voiced him and I voiced like a couple other people. But they're all cameos.
Yeah.
So it meant the production for that one, I think we knocked over everything in the first session and then I just had to do a couple of pickups.
Yeah. Especially for Kakashi. I know for a fact we did Kakashi in one hit.
Yeah. But then you'll get an episode like... which one was it? I know there's going to be, like, when we get to the Immortals. That's going to be a long episode for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm Hidan. I'm Azuma. I'm Kakashi. I'm Shikamaru. Like,
Guess who has the most lines out of all those episodes? Those 4.
I'm the person.
Yeah.
I'm the dude. That is my episode.
Yeah. It's the episode will be starring TwstdFlaems with supporting cast by 2 other people.
Yeah. So yeah, like that episode is going to be a long episode. So it really depends on the episode. So we usually knock over the initial recording in 1, maybe 2 sessions, depending on the episode. And then pickups will be another session or 2, depending on
6 to 8 months later.
6 to 8 months later. Yeah, exactly. So this is the first recording session we've had since
June.
Was it June? Was it not earlier?
Yeah, I think the last one I was here was in June.
Okay. So
But lockdown didn't help.
Lockdown didn't help, but realistically, lockdown would have only pushed us to maybe late September, early October, as opposed to
The 30th of October.
the 30th of October to really date this when
Yeah.
it's recorded. Tomorrow's Halloween.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. But yeah, so like it varies from episode to episode, and it depends on who I'm playing as well. Because certain characters will destroy me. Like Machinedramon and Jirobo are 2 of the worst decisions I've ever made.
Your Machinedramon is pitch perfect though. I will give you that.
Thank you. But because they're so taxing on my voice, it means that, and that's why they have such little dialogue. But because they're so taxing, it means the recording has to be structured around those 2.
Yeah.
I can't do it too late in the day because otherwise I'd burn myself out and other stuff. But if I do it too early, then I can't record afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's been finding balance. And we talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
If we actually recorded the entire time, I wouldn't have anything left to do.
Yeah.
Like this wouldn't be happening today.
Yeah, we're doing a recording session. After this interview, we're going for lunch. Then we'll do a recording session, and we're recording One Piece openings to finish the day.
This session wouldn't be happening, I don't think, if we actually just, like, you rocked up, we started recording, we finished recording, and that was it.
Yeah, but I'm glad that we don't do that.
Like, we will have an audio file that is an hour, and only 4 minutes of that was actually recording dialogue. The rest of it was just us talking shit.
Yeah.
Which has led to some really good scripting ideas.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
At the same time, it's like, yeah, if we actually were constructive and on target, I'd be like, cool. Like, what's the project we're doing after Shippuden?
Yeah.
What are we doing after Digimon 02? Are we going on to Tamers? Are we going on to a completely different anime altogether? Hey, let's do Beyblade. Why not?
Yeah.
But like, we just relax when this happens.
Yeah.
Because we don't see each other anymore because lockdowns and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't go into the office anymore.
Haven't seen you at work since what, March last year?
March. It was just after my wedding. It was hang on. It's been before my wedding.
Yeah, because you had time off after your wedding.
And then we came back. I was in the office for a week, and then we started working from home. But by that point, you were already
working from home.
So yeah,
my team was first.
Yeah, so it's been since the start of March 2020 since we've been in the office at the same time.
Wow, that's only 2 years.
Yeah. So we only get to see each other and have those conversations like this. And yeah, we text and, we play Halo every Wednesday basically. But, this is the time we get to just chill and,
That's it.
I try not to make recording sessions just in, record, done. I fuck off.
That's it.
You fuck off if you're coming to my place.
Yeah.
It's a case of, we record, but we have lunch, we chat, we catch up. Sometimes we have a video game here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we try and make day out of it because I now live like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good.
Yeah.
And I like that actually answers my next question. What do recording sessions look like for you?
Yeah.
They look like a lot of shit talking and very little work.
Yeah, they are a lot of not doing shit.
And I think for you, for episode 4 of Digimon, took about 4 or 5 sessions.
Yeah, because we were just talking shit the whole time.
Yeah.
It was in a no lockdown thing, and you could do things like, because Shy Ghost and Pythonics don't live far from me.
Yeah.
It means that you can do a half day with them and then a half day with me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, cool, whatever. And I know there was a couple of times where you go see Shy Ghost, Pythonics wasn't available, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So you get one done from them, you come here, we'd record, and then you'd have to come like the next week or 2 weeks later to do the other one, and then you just come here. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Or there's those couple of times, I don't think it's really going to be a thing anymore just because of how schedules have changed, that I'd go and I'd see like Shy Ghost in the morning, I'd come here after lunch, and then after dinner I'd go back and see Pythonics to record.
Yeah.
But now us and myself and them have worked out a different way of recording that's better for them.
Yeah.
And Shy Ghost is really, really up to date on recording. She's recorded about half of the shipping script so far.
Nice.
Because we've been recording over Zoom.
Okay.
With her partner's mic.
Yeah.
She's been really keen to get going and voicing as many characters as she does.
Yeah, well, she'd be third after us, wouldn't she?
Yeah, easily. Easily. Couldn't tell you who's after her though. Probably Chris.
Not Pythonics.
No.
Pythonics is last.
Yes.
Most dialogue sometimes.
Yeah.
But least characters.
Yeah. Actually, no. There's one person who has least characters than Pythonics. Pythonics has 3 characters.
Oh, okay. Well, then 2.5 has less characters.
At the moment.
At the moment, yes.
At the moment. He and I have already spoken about it. He's going to get a lot more characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come I soon ship it in.
Pardon?
Come I soon ship it in.
A lot of people are going to get a lot of roles in shipping.
I'm not, I don't think.
I
mean, I've already got most of my ones.
And there's a couple more in the war.
I do a lot of main villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that in the war.
Pinky in the Brain.
Yep.
And you've got a lot of the classes allow like the Edo Tenseis.
I was going to say Edo Tensei, but they're not new roles. They're existing roles.
7 Swordsmen are.
I'm only voicing one of them.
Yeah, I know, but other people will pick up the other stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting a lot of new roles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Edo Tenseis from the war, I'm getting 2 new voices at this stage. Which
3.
is with Pink in the Brain and who else?
Your surname.
My surname.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Because I don't want to accidentally dox you.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's a good time.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be chaos.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people pick up a lot of roles in the war.
Yep. It was chaos.
Yeah. Rising Avenged is picking up a few new roles in the war as well, actually. Which is really good because his main character fucks off in the form of Jiraiya. But he's playing at least one of the Edo Tensei. And I think I might get either you or me. Actually, no, it's me playing another one of them, and you'll pick up at least one more, I think.
Okay.
So you'll have a few more.
Cool. I'll look it up.
And then there's characters like the Jinchuriki that need to be cast, that haven't been cast yet. Strange enough, we've cast Pakora, who's one of the Edo Tensei. And Samoi's been cast as well.
Could have cast the rest of the Tau Beasts as well.
How many of them are already cast?
Well, 3 I know of.
Shikaku's been cast, Matatabi's been cast.
Kurama's been cast.
I fucking hope so.
Lucky 7's Strome has been cast.
And Yuki's been cast.
Okay, it's 5 of the 9.
Yep.
Halfway there.
And then...
if you know who Lucky 7 Chome's voice actor is, you know who's playing him.
Yeah, so only Isabu... Sorry, and Goku's been cast.
Yep.
So the only ones outstanding are Isabu, blanking on their name, Kokui?
Has
Kokuo?
the 8 Tails been cast?
Yuki, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and BC is playing one of the tail beasts.
You realize you're about to reveal casting stuff? Cool.
I try not to do that in these.
Fair.
Just in case things change.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah. This is genuinely how some casting meetings happen.
Yeah, it's just like, who's going to do this? Well, this person does a pretty good this. They can probably do this.
Yeah. Or we make connections. Okay, so it's exactly how Black and White Zetsu ended up getting cast as Omega and Bang.
Yeah.
Originally, White Zetsu was going to be somebody else, but due to scheduling conflicts at the time, we couldn't go that direction, so we went with Omega Mystic.
Fair.
So yeah, it's worked out really, really well, I think, though.
Nice.
And I'm trying to think if there's any other funny casting stories, like you stealing Agumon from
I was going to
me.
say, everything I've done is just like, mine.
Yeah.
This mine.
Yeah.
Or like me joking, say, I'll just voice the sound 5, it's fine. It's like, cool. Oh, I'm going to start looking at the Dark Masters. Cool, I'm the Dark Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to voice all 4 Dark Masters. Can you? What do their voices sound like? Okay, cool. Blah.
I can do that, I can do that, I can do that, and I can do that.
Yeah. Hey, Imply, listen to my machine drum.
At the time, she worked with us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a lot of casting happened there as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now if I have anything like that, or did I just say I'm going to play this character?
I think you just basically take whatever character. Like you basically go, I want this one, this one, this one. Cool, these characters are available.
Yeah, when I was I had to move I had to completely rewrite the entire cast list because Microsoft Office expired on my MacBook,
Nice.
so I can't save or move anything off of it.
Nice.
So I had to redo it in Google Sheets. Thank you, Google. I say to our overlords, and I was going through, and I'm like, you know what? While I'm here, for example, this character, Cosmo vs. Goku. I'll figure out the voice later. This character, Cosmo vs. Goku. This character, TwstdFlaems can play that one.
Yeah.
There's a couple you're going to be like, all right.
I think that's how Frigimon happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I took Miramon, and then Miramon got cut.
I'm sorry.
That's right. But again, that was another character that was going Steve Blue on.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Frigimon was like, yeah, cool, I'm Frigimon. And that was originally going to be done differently.
Yeah.
It's changed now.
Yes, it's still got a Disney feel to it.
Yeah.
But it's
But it's
much
changed
different.
what Disney influence it is.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't nail the first one. But I did nail the second one.
Yeah, the second one is very good. It's very, very funny. I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
So weird that we can have casting decisions just come together so easily with some characters, and then others that we just struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, because Izzy is definitely the hard. I reckon Izzy is hands down the hardest role we've had to cast.
Yep.
Because of how, like, realistically, that voice is really difficult.
Yep.
And so thank God for Shy Ghost
Yeah.
getting that one. But yeah, that was the last of the Children and Digidestiny cast.
Yep.
Like it was the last main casting decision for Digimon.
Yep.
I know that because I was already playing the Dark Masters at that stage.
Yeah.
And I was trying for Izzy for a while, but I couldn't get the voice right.
You couldn't get the Mona Marshall off at all.
Yeah, I was too deep.
Yep. And then Shy goes to turn and says, I can do that.
Yeah. Just spam it.
I'm busy.
Okay. Prodigious.
And then I remember I showed a clip of Izzy to the cast, and it was actually Chris that turned around and said, holy fuck! That sounds just like the original. I'm like, I know.
We've had some stuff that just fallen into place.
Yeah.
Like
Edamon, for example. I was originally cast as Edamon, and I'm like, I don't think I can really do this. So I messaged Chris, and he's like, I thought you'd never ask! And obviously...
I love dogs.
Dogs embody loyalty! I will say I'm really glad we did that video. I think that that video, I was trying to, I know I wanted to do something for the 15th anniversary. And I toyed around with a couple of ideas, which I pitched to you, and you're like, no, we're not doing that. Not doing that. One of the scrapped ideas was doing a fan dub of his episode 1, and you poo-pooed that, which is okay.
Well, Because I know that I could have done all the voices on my own.
Yes. Your Kaiba is fantastic.
Yes.
It's... Well, I've just teased it by accident. Would you give us a...
Oh god, can I even do it right now? Draw your last pathetic card, Yugi, so I can finish this.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Which is weird because I can't do a good Brock voice.
That's right, neither can I. And then, and your 10 voice, it really folded into my Otismon.
Yeah.
With the...
Crush.
Yeah.
Grizzly Wing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Dan Green.
And then, you know, my 10 voice will end up showing up one day. That was one of the characters I said, no, I'm playing this.
Yeah.
Next I wanted to share screen time with Rising Avenged again, because he and I just have such eclectic chemistry. But yeah, back to that video, I'm really glad we did it, and he seemed to really appreciate it.
Yes.
And it showed that we're not oblivious to the influence that he's had on us.
Oh yeah,
and it was just a nice thing to do.
Sure.
So if you know what we're talking about, you know what we're talking about.
If you don't, then...
I don't think really... So I don't really know if it's appropriate to plug it here, but if you'd like to see how we pay tribute to Little Karibo and 15 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, where did you put your hands?
Up here somewhere.
Yeah, there, or...
Where Chopper is.
Yeah, we'll throw it at Chopper.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Chopper is, well, that's on you.
Yeah. Oh, way too high. There we go.
Yeah.
That's actually Chopper Man as well. That's Chopper.
Yes.
Look, Chopper Man, and then Chopper's lying down next to him. And then Eevee and Kickback and Jolteon.
Who's that character?
Who's what character?
Is that Bart?
Yeah, that's Bardo.
What a nice figure.
Yeah, that's the one Thing brought over that I was telling you.
Oh, yeah. Do you mind if I bring it to camera?
Yeah, go for it.
Look how freaking gorgeous this is. Such a nice...
I love Bardo.
Okay, it's not fully focused, so whatever, but it's a really, really nice sculpt.
Yeah.
Senpai! Sorry, fine.
I love Bardo.
I'm really looking forward to the Alliance coming back.
For sure.
Whenever they
Great
do.
plate, yeah.
Yep, that's what they call it. Yeah. So what else is in the works for TwstdFlaems? What else is going on creatively for you?
Not a lot as far as this goes. I'm starting traction on YouTube stuff again. Start doing theory crafting and analysis and shitting all over Naruto. That'll be... I guess we can link it, whatever, I don't care.
I'll put a link in the description comments below where you can see... Description comments?
Description below.
Description below.
They're two separate things.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's basically all I'm working on. I've only just started, first video came out 2 days ago, so I'll hopefully gain some traction with that and start doing things a bit more consistently, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so you can see a little bit more of what TwstdFlaems is working on at the Critical Reviews.
That's it.
That's the name of the YouTube channel.
That's
I'll throw a link in the description bar below.
We shall.
And I've watched there will be spoilers for...
Oh, heavy spoilers.
Heavy
If
spoilers.
You're not up to date with Wano in One Piece.
Yeah.
You're going to hate it.
Yeah.
And if you're not up to date in other things, when I release those videos, you'll hate those as well.
Yeah.
So
So I suppose in that case, what's next? What's next for TwstdFlaems?
God, I don't know. More of this. Yay. I don't know. Just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
If I can get my stuff going as well, then schmick. If not, then hell.
Okay.
But yeah, just keep doing this and at least finish out Naruto and Digimon.
Yeah, and we have tentative plans for a third project. Which we've lightly... My God, you were tanned.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Sorry for those that can't see. He's just pulled back his sock to scratch his ankle, and there's a clear line of tan. And
I've got a
skin
farmer's
tone.
tan between ankle and foot. It's weird.
It's really. Then again, you do walk a lot.
I do.
You do go for a lot of walks. You just need to walk into a barber.
Yes.
He says.
Oh, God, I need a haircut so bad. But yeah, no, just keep doing this and do my own stuff a little bit as well. So we'll just see how that all goes.
Sweet. In that case, any final thoughts?
No, not at all. Watch our stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like us, do the Patreon thing, whatever. No requirements, but if you got time to spare, do it.
Sweet.
You won't.
Well, I don't either. I've already done it. All right, in that case, we're going to go and have some lunch. So we will catch you later.
Kitch.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to this 8th ever cast interview. We hope you enjoyed this insight into the world of Journeyman Abridged. And thank you so much to our friend the Curly Cartoonist over on Twitter at Curly Cartoonist for her work on our personalized avatars. We'll see you in the next one, coming on the 10th of January, when TwstdFlaems sits down with the voice of Sasuke, Agumon, and Orochimaru, and so many more Cosmo vs. Goku.